Hi all. So a few people have mentioned that they thought my previous videos on OpenAKC were too long, so I decided to do a few shorter demos showing examples of the workflow involved in a single common task without getting into the weeds of exactly how that works. So here we go, adding permissions via a public key, a la authorized keys, using the AKC or OpenAKC system. The window on the right shows one of my desktops, which is certainly outside my OpenAKC test environment and will serve as a third party for the demo. The window on the left shows a user is configured, or user who is configured as an OpenAKC admin on the security server. The demo will grant access to an account app user on a third host, which is not shown, called OpenAKC client. I'll use the IP when connecting from the external system, since it's outside my test environment, doesn't have name resolution, etc. The first task here would be to obtain the public key from the third party, so we can do that. So on my third party machine, I'm going to change into my .ssh folder. I'm just going to cat id rsa.pub. So that's the public key that that you perhaps have received from your third party. Maybe they emailed it to you. So first thing to do is for this key to arrive somehow in the hands of the admin user. So in this case, let's just cat that into a temporary file. So temp/key. And I'm going to take that, perhaps as if I'd saved it from an email or whichever, and I've written it into that /temp/key file. Now, what we need to do now is upload it to the security server, and note that that's even though this admin user is actually on the combined security server. Obviously, it's via an API, so this could be from a security workstation or wherever they've you've granted permission for that to happen. But the key doesn't actually have to be on the security server, and nor does the admin. So we've just written it to a temporary file, and we now need to submit that into the OpenAKC system. So we use the OpenAKC tool, and we're going to submit a key. Submit /temp/key, and this is going to be comment third party key. So do that, and it's here. It says we've stored the key, and you'll note that there is a serial number that's been assigned to that key, and it's probably worth making a note of that, copying that, because you can use the key fingerprint in the rules file, but the serial number allows you to rotate keys without updating the rules. So if you've got a lot of rules that refer to the same key, and you need to rotate that key, then it's best to use the serial number. So once it's submitted, you can edit the role definition that permits access to the test account. That would be app user at OpenAKC client, and write the rules that permit the login. So let's do that. So you're going to use the OpenAKC tool again, OpenAKC, edit role, and the account was app user app user at OpenAKC -client. Oh, we've already got a rule in there that that's created by my demo, which just allows the normal user to connect, and we want to add a new rule, which is going to look broadly the same as this one. So we'll copy this, this block of text is essentially a rule that defines access to a host, or a access rule within this user at host permission. So we'll copy that, and we're going to change it so that instead of allowing a user to log in, it's going to define a key, and we're going to get rid of that, and we're going to paste in our key serial number in there, and let's save that. And once the rule is saved, the user should be able to log in. So let's try that over here. So we're going to SSH to app user at that IP address, and we get a connection. It's got the login quiz turned on, so it's just going to ask us, do we have a reason for logging in, or a change number or something? So we're just going to give it a 1, 2, 3, 4. This is a test, and then we get our shell, and that's app user at OpenAKC client, which is what we put in our permission over here. So let's say I'm a bit of a nosy user here, and I'm going to have a look at how this all works. I'm going to have a look at SSH. I'm going to have a look at SSHD config, because perhaps I want to know how that works. In fact, it all revolves around the authorized keys command, which is where the AKC comes from. And so we log out of that. And as a little bonus, I said I wasn't going to make this too long, but let's do a little bonus. Since my third-party user was poking around there, and perhaps they shouldn't have been, I'm going to look at the key logs, and the session recording folder, and you'll see that there is a directory structure that's been created there with a log file. And you can see actually that our key serial number was written into the file name there. So it's showing a log from app user at OpenAKC client from this key, and this is the session ID, which if you actually look on the OpenAKC client will be written into the log. So you'll be able to track exactly what happened there. And if you cat this file, you'll be able to see exactly that this matches what happened. And actually, you can also see at the top, it shows what was entered for the title and the summary. We've got all of the network information, which key was used, various information about what the shell override we've applied, any capability restrictions, session logging is enabled, and then if session logging is enabled, then you get everything else that happened during the session recorded in there. So you'll be able to see clearly that matches. And the important thing to take away from this is that this was all done from the admin, the OpenAKC admin, and at no point did anyone need to log into this OpenAKC client to write an authorized keys file. In fact, there is no authorized keys file on there. We can go back in there and check that. That's not mandatory, by the way. So we can .sh. Well, this user doesn't have a .ssh folder, so there's no authorized keys file. Anyway, that's the end of that little hopefully quick demo. Thanks for watching, and if you've got any questions, please let me know.